Nobody's gonna feel it like you feel it. It's your dream. Nobody's gonna be as dedicated to it as you are. It's your dream, and they don't have to understand, and they don't have to like it, and they don't have to do it. It doesn't make a difference. It's your dream, and you, my friend, have been given the task to make it happen, and you can't let anything stop you from doing what you were called to do.
Oh. Oh. How we doing? Dude, this is heavy. Good morning, guys. Welcome to the first ever In My Van podcast. I actually don't even watch that many podcasts myself because they're so long, but every single time I do, I get so much useful information. And yeah, I usually only watch like Dave Asprey or Joe Rogan or Aubrey Marcus, a lot of just the influencers and just big time guys that have been doing the podcast forever. They actually didn't even start in podcasting. They started in some other form of specialty, and then they kind of wanted to be heard by people, or their mindset wanted to be heard, especially communicating with like-minded people. People like to listen to that, and I figured why not do my first ever podcast by myself, because when we look back at it in the future, who knows, maybe I'll be laughing in a couple years being like, remember when I tried to do podcasts and it just went terribly and I never ended up doing another one? Or maybe we'll be looking back at this in a couple years and be like, dude, remember the first ever podcast before you actually had mics set up and cameras and everything? But figured there's no better place to do it than inside of my van. We'll probably eventually call this thing some title that has to do with a van and a podcast that I haven't come up with, but here we are in the van. It is 10 o'clock on Sunday. Yesterday was Saturday. I started shooting the vlog, and me and Niso went down to the park. I did my workout. I started to do my 75-day challenge that I got going on, and when I was done with my day, I didn't really do too much active stuff or too much entertaining things. So when I started looking over the footage, I was just like, it was the first day in the past 500 and some odd days that I've dropped a video consistently every single day on YouTube, that while I was editing, I was telling myself, this isn't quality, this isn't good enough to be putting out, and this isn't really entertaining. So I stopped yesterday, didn't make the edit, didn't make the vlog, first time in a year and a half. And I just went to bed, put the footy away, and I have recently suffered from a lesion or a laceration to my kidney, stage 4. Last week I had internal bleeding, and yeah, it's been rough because it doesn't really hurt. It's just a little bit uncomfortable, but I can't do anything. So even though I feel fine, inside I know that I can't do anything, or my liver's not going to be stoked because it's sitting next to my kidney, which is going to be bleeding out. And yeah, so we're just taking this healing slow, and that's kind of what pushed me into waking up this morning and being like, you know what, I don't have a video to go and upload today for the fans and for the people that want to see stuff, so what should I do? And then I figured, well, I can shoot maybe a half an hour, maybe 45, maybe a full hour length podcast of myself just talking in the van, trying to answer a lot of questions that you guys have had for me over the years, or just approaching the topics of where I'm gonna go in snowboarding over the next couple months, the healing process, and living in the van. A lot of interesting topics that you guys always ask me. So here we are. Welcome to the podcast in the van, taking over the vlog for today. This was filmed actually today. So let me know throughout this if you guys get any interest from it, if you guys get any advice or anything that I should work on, because this is probably just gonna be one take all the way through, and I'm just gonna see what you viewers think about your boy's neck sitting in a van by himself for an hour just talking to a camera. So much love as always for the support. I want to give a shout out to all the sponsors. They not only hook me up like crazy and allow me to do what I do every day by giving me free gear, and sometimes some compensation is they hook you guys up. And that's so legendary, because when I was a kid, I used to always search the internet like crazy for promo codes, and I could never find any, or if I did, I'd be so stoked on a 10 or 20% off. And to be able to show you guys all the stuff that I use, not only giving you a heads up on some of the best equipment or technology or anything like that out there, to also offer you 10 or 15, 20, sometimes even more % off for yourselves is literally, I just feel so grateful to be able to put that into the world. So shout out to, we got a lot these days. All of them are helping out in different ways, but shout out to Corinthia Parks because they just had last day on hill because they're having LDOH right now. That's heavy. Shout out Corinthia Parks, the day one sponsor. Shout out to Candy Grind. They have been sponsoring since 2012. They got all of the snowboarding accessories that you need, all the gloves, all the hats, all the jackets, the outerwear. They got the sickest stickers ever. They make things from wallets to lanyards for your keys. They got, they used to make shoelaces. They got the sickest backpacks in the world right now, the Candy Grind 365 Habit backpack. And yeah, they've been supporting literally forever. So shout out to Candy Grind and shout out to their smaller off-brand company, CG Habitats Surf. Candy Grind is CG Habitats, so shout out to Candy Grind Surf. Shout out to Burn Helmets, keeping the dome on point. Shout out to Burn Helmets Japan for supporting all the way over there. Shout out to Bulletproof Coffee and all their stuffs that they got. You guys already know that we have all the promo codes are listed in the description below of every single video. So if you guys want to check any of these things out, feel free. Who else we got? I gotta look around. We got Lego snowboards. Shout out Scotty Lego. We got freaking Cliff Bars. Shout out Cliff Bars. We're almost done with those things, which is pretty sweet because yeah, we're trying to get rid of stuff. Lugging things around in this van is not easy at all. Shout out to Shred Soles for keeping the feet nice and comfy. Shout out to Skull Candy. They hooked it up with some headphones this month. Shout out to Blenders, Oster. They're not hooking it up yet, but they're gonna. What else we got? I usually just gotta think from head to toe. Shout out to helmets. Shout out Candy Grind. Shout out to yoga mats. Shout out to the 405 for mattresses. Shout out to Decathlon because they hooked it up with surfboards recently and they got the bib and they got the jacket. Shout out to the Hundreds. We just went over to their lab the other day, the headquarters, and they freaking hooked it up with multiple bags of stuff. What other sponsors, if I think about them while I'm going? Oh, shout out to Suja, the veggie drink that we're always drinking, the Uber Greens. Shout out to Harmless Harvest for the coconut waters. Shout out to Wise Monkey Tea out of Canada. They're the best tea company in the game. And yeah, that's about it for the shout outs for now. Just thank everybody for the support, for the love, keeping this mission going, keeping this dream going. And huge shout out to all the Patreons because you guys are keeping gas in the van. You guys are keeping insurance paid on this van so that we can be sleeping in here, so we can be making edits in here, so that we can be pumping out content for you guys that I hope you guys have been enjoying. It seems like you have, since we got, what, almost 30,000 humans that we've grown on this channel in just a little bit over a year. So heavy. But yeah, I guess we should run through. Look at this. I'm actually going to start using this more often. This will be my new little table here. I should have that filled up with topics in case we fall off track here, but for now I want to maybe start off by jumping into the van life a little bit. Everybody asks questions about the van, and I've been getting a lot of them recently. With all this time off, I should think about redoing the van because that's what I keep saying, and we really only have like 6 days. No, not even. It's the 14th right now. I'm probably going to leave on like the 17th or the 18th. So that'll be 3 or 4 days to go back to Connecticut. I still haven't looked at tickets, so I still don't know if this is happening. But my good friend is getting married, and I'm trying to make it back for that wedding no matter what. So hopefully in the next 3 or 4 days, I'm shooting to the East Coast, and I'm going to be hooking up with Chris Granada and a bunch of the Connecticut homies, and they're going to be getting married on April 20th. So that's going to be legit if we make it back over there. So we don't have much time to actually rig the van out, but this mattress, if you guys seen, I literally found it on the 405 last year, and look at the roof. The roof is right there. That's not how this whole setup was meant to be built. I only had a tiny little foam pad on it, so I had way extra room. And yeah, I found the mattress on the 405 in the wrapper, brand new, and I felt like there was no other option than to cut it in half on the side of the road and throw it in here. And then, yeah, the roof is not ideal. I really can care less. I couldn't care less about space when you're sleeping, because I'm just laying down anyways, and I only lay down for 6 or 7 hours a night, so I don't need to be like up. But it would be nice to be able to have some turning room. The homie Nick, whose house we're crashing at right now, me and Niso that is, has a little mattress about this big, which is kind of firm, kind of hard. And I've been reading up a lot on sleep recently because I've been having back issues since the kidney incident, because my body just is so used to moving and stretching, and I've always had spinal elongation and spinal subluxation issues. So yoga that's the reason I stretch every day. That's the reason I do yoga. And I haven't really felt comfortable enough to wrench my obliques in a certain way yet, just because I'm scared of the kidney. So I'm giving it a couple days, and I've been sleeping on couches and then sleeping on like futons and stuff, and then not stretching enough and not being active, so my back's been acting up like crazy. So I'm stoked that I found a thicker pad that I get to throw in here. Tomorrow's Monday. We're gonna go to the dump. We're gonna toss this mattress out, and we're gonna get a new pad, so we're gonna have more room in here. It's gonna be smaller, then we can store more stuff. And yeah, then we're gonna go to the airport, and it's all gonna happen in the next 3 or 4 days. I'm just so grateful that my kidney has been feeling a little bit better each day. The main part has been the breathing in, and it feels like it's like hitting a wall or something, and it's kind of been subsiding. I think it's just been a little bit of inflammation. And yeah, so the plans for the van are after the Nanocraft tour trip coming up on the 22nd when I fly back, and we go up to Washington and we do all the big events that I've been talking about. We're going to Homewood, and we're gonna build a private feature there. And then I think there's one at Mammoth, maybe not, Sierra for sure. And we're gonna end up in Washington at Super Park. So after that is done, I'm claiming that we're gonna have to rip a whole bunch of this stuff out, because we built it pretty quick and I didn't have an idea. When you build a van, you kind of want to live in it for a little bit, which is why I recommend building it a little bit at a time and then seeing where stuff goes. We just kind of mapped it out, built it real fast, and then there ended up being a lot of dead zones. So like right here is one of them, where I just have like a pile of like hoodies and stuff, and you can't really reach your arm back there, and if you do, there's just a whole bunch of space. So that's not the most ideal. You want to watch out for dead spots in your van when you're building it. I got another one over here. But really, there's probably only like 20% missing out of this van, but 20% is huge when you got a lot of stuff on you, because I'm running the merch shop out of here. So I have all my stickers, and every time I get gear in, I got all this gear everywhere. The box I'm sitting on right now is a box of giveaway stuff that I either have extras of, or that I don't want, or sponsors give me, or people send me that I can give away. So I'm trying to roll around in a van with an entire surfboard setup and all the equipment to surf, along with skating, along with snowboarding, along with filming snowboarding. So I have long lenses and tripods, and then all this extra gear that I'm carrying around for everybody. And then I'm trying to have it equipped to be able to live in the winter. So I have like 6 blankets in here, and then also the summer. So I have all my summer gear, the shop with all the clothes like I'm saying, and all the stickers and everything. And then I have all my storage stuff of all my sentimental things that I don't even wear, stuff I'm trying to save. Then people leave stuff in here, or I have stuff that I'm trying to fix in here. I got backup boots. I got 5, 6 surfboards in here. I got extra backpacks, penny boards, hoodies, everything you could think of. And it just gets a little bit overwhelming. But I guess you just got to stop for a little while and realize, like, first of all, I'm overwhelmed because I have so many things, which is something to be grateful for right there. And then I'm overwhelmed because I have all of the things that I need to do what I love the most. So it could definitely be worse, but it could also be better. We're going for progress in this life. So I'm claiming that in between Woodward and after Nanocraft tour, we're gonna somehow pull this thing apart, rebuild it, and actually put some money into it this time. Because last year, if you didn't, you can search on YouTube, Casey-Willax building my van setup day 1, 2, 3, 4. We did 4 days. We had barely any time. We had no money, and all of this wood that you see is from pallets. We took 100 pallets apart. We sanded every single square inch of them as much as we could, and the homie Rhinocraft basically did the entire thing. I helped sanding. I did most of the sanding because he just told me what to do. And I built this one little shelving here that I'm stoked on, but the homie had a vision, he had blueprints, he mapped it out, and it was so ideal. It was built for the summer, and we ended up pushing it all the way through the winter and making it work. We've had TCAP, Brian Daly, Niso, and myself all living in here at one time. So we've had Jamal sleeping up front. We've had Niso posted up right here with me and TCAP in the back, B Dale's in the front. Like, you can't buy these kind of memories, and I'm just so lucky and so stoked and so grateful. Not so much lucky, but there is a little portion of luck that always is involved that just keeps the boys happy, keeps the boys stoked. And I'm gonna do a full-blown van tour one of these next days here too as well. So to jump back into the burnout and not really having enough good content for you guys, and the reason that I started doing this podcast right now is because of the injury. Of course, I can't really do too much, so it's not that entertaining, and I can't really like follow cam other people or, you know, run down to the beach and carry all this equipment to get good surf shots of other people. Not that you guys really even watch surfing anyways, but my plan is to do, what do you guys think of this? A tutorial one day a week, and say Mondays or something, you know, it's not specific, but say do a tutorial on Monday, do the podcast on Sunday, Wednesday do some type of like a new product review, like testing out a drone or something like that, and then just kind of put a day together every day of the week where it would be something. So if you guys wanted to ask me questions, then I could do Wednesday, I could do like questions with Casey, and I could maybe pick like 3 of you guys, and whoever shoots me the best question, give me your phone number and I'll call you live or something like that. You ask me the question and then I'll give you real-time answers for like 5 or 10 minutes, and do maybe 3 or 4 of those for one of the days. And yeah, just kind of make segments focusing more on a specific topic rather than just daily vlogging, when it used to be epic because my days were epic every single day, but now it's more or less just me trying to get a recovery in. So I could do Thursdays or Fridays, like one of them could be cooking with Casey. Thursdays I was gonna do throwbacks, so like you guys saw Mount Hood 2013, I could do like a throwback every week, a cooking episode every week, something that has to do with health and stretching, a tutorial, a review video of like with you guys and asking Casey questions one, and then either a live chat or a podcast. So let me know what you guys think about that. I'm trying to switch up the content and make it more topic based rather than just, normally I used to wake up and say, I don't really know what we're doing today, but let's jump into this, and then you would find out that we end up doing something crazy. So trying to keep it a lot more just lively, and the daily vlog isn't gonna go that way, it seems. So that is where I'm at right now with my daily content. Hope you guys are gonna be stoked on it. Hope you guys are enjoying it. Hope you guys saw who won that snowboard the other day too, because that was pretty sick. And yet to get the email from homie, so shoot me that message, man. You won a snowboard that I've ridden for about a month, and it's sick. And yeah, I'm trying to send that out to you. Some other questions I get a lot are books. People want like book advice. What are a couple books that I've been reading a lot recently? The top 3 books I would recommend. Number 1, it's actually right here, is The Slight Edge, and it's by Jeff Olson. And this is basically the book that teaches you how to absorb information from books that you read. So a lot of us will read a book and we'll get motivation from reading, say 5 or 10 pages in the morning, and then we'll apply it throughout our day, and it's amazing, and then we go to bed, and then if you don't read the next day, you kind of forget, and you haven't built that habit of what the book taught you, or that paragraph or that page or whatever, so then it kind of just fades away. The Slight Edge is literally the accumulation of knowledge that this man has built his life of success off of, that just keeps you on point every moment of your life and reminds you of how every single tiny thing you do compounded over time builds something that is greater than you. And if you actually work hard, you can accomplish anything. But this book right here is absolutely legendary, and it helps you absorb information from all other books. So I would start off with The Slight Edge by Jeff Olson. Then I would go to The Biology of Belief by Bruce Lipton. And that book is on the other side of the scale, where it breaks down molecularly what's going on inside your body from a sensory point of view. So your perception on the world actually changing the way that your genes develop, which is a crazy concept, but it's 100% science. It's 100% nonfiction, meaning real. And I've never really been changed more by a book in my entire life. I've listened to the audiobook probably 4 or 5 times. I've never even made it through the whole book reading, because it's such good information that it's hard to read it fast, and I want it to be absorbed. I want to take as much as I can in. So Bruce Lipton, The Biology of Belief, is absolutely legendary, and it takes the other side of the slight edge, where the hard work and the hard work and the hard work will actually pay off, and it shows you what's going on underlying while you're doing the hard work inside your cells that's making your body or making your habits actually stick and changing who you are as a person genetically. So that's my second one. And then the third one I would recommend is any of the books by Dave Asprey. Dave Asprey is the founder of Bulletproof Coffee, Bulletproof Radio, Bulletproof Inc. He's a biohacker. He's an absolute legend. And he has written Headstrong. He's written the Bulletproof Diet. He's written the Bulletproof Cookbook. If you're having a kid, or you plan on having a kid, or you had a kid recently, or you ever plan on having a kid, he wrote the Better Baby book, which I have not read because it's legendary and I'm not there. It's just not for me right now. But the Better Baby book. And then what I'm reading of his right now is called Game Changers, where he interviewed, the number could be wrong, but I believe thousands of people, at least multiple hundreds of top experts in their field, and they are some of the best in whatever field it is in the world. And then he had podcasts with them, and he took all of their results of their top 3 most requested things that people should do to upgrade their performance at the end of the podcast, and he graphed them out, and he made these crazy charts, and he turned it into a giant book about what are the most important things that you could do as a human to upgrade your performance. And he's got hundreds of the most absolute legendary human beings that are given top shelf knowledge to him, and they're going back and forth with it. And you know, when you hear multiple people that are of high intelligence discussing something, you're just getting so much information out of it. So any of Asprey's books, I would have to say Game Changers right now, just because I'm in the middle of reading it, but you could, Headstrong is just as good, so is the Bulletproof Diet. Any book by Dave Asprey would be my third recommended one, because you got the slight edge mentality, then you have the biology of belief understanding, and then you have the healthy side of what to do with Bulletproof and Dave Asprey. So those are my top 3 most recommended books right now. Some bands that I always get asked what music I'm listening to, or what do I listen to for certain things. I always say I listen to indie if I'm doing like cruising, pow turns, or just like relaxed, just mountain riding, carving and stuff. Yeah, just like flowy indie. I'd say like either, what are some of the bands? The Midnight, I believe that's one. Tycho, Tycho, Ghost Atlas. There are so many good ones. Mute Math. Type in any of those on Spotify and then start a list off of those, and you'll see more that come in. If I'm listening to hip hop, I'm gonna be riding rails, because you try to keep the steez going as much as you can and be on point so you don't slip off. And that could be literally anybody, any good hip hop. That's a more of a preference thing, because I listen to all hip hop. I listen to old school hip hop, like Crowbar would respect, and then I also listen to like the new stuff that Jamal would listen to, Lil Baby and Gunna, and I've had my Future phase, my Young Thug phase, and yeah, there's just throw on some hip hop that you like that's gonna help you try to keep your arms down for your rail tricks. And then anytime I'm hitting jumps, I usually throw on some metal to pump me up, but don't just go off the metal, just get the pumped upness and then go back to focusing on your flow state, because sometimes you'll just throw a triple when you meant to throw a double, or you'll overshoot something. But metal all day is number 1. Kingdom of Giants, you guys already know my brother's in that band. I can't say number 2 or number 3, but some extras would be North Lane, Era, ERRA. There's so many good ones, dude. Architects, The Plot in You. I don't want to throw out too many, because you could type in any of those and the playlist will start coming. Spotify or Apple Music is so good at giving you suggested or recommended ones, but I'll throw a couple more of those out every time we do this. But those are some metal, some hip hop, and some indie bands that I listen to while I'm snowboarding. And I believe that it's very, very crucial for me, maybe not for everybody, but to listen to the right music while I'm snowboarding. What's my plans with surfing? Am I gonna be on a surfboard soon? Because water doesn't hurt. Unfortunately, water does hurt. Surfing's gnarly. You get slammed on the shore break, it's over. I can't have any physical impact on my kidney for the next 3 months, they say, or it could start bleeding again. So I've gotten chucked over the falls and hit by my surfboard pretty much every time I've surfed. I've gotten slammed on the ground on shore break. I've slipped off my board and like hit it. None of that stuff is good. And also, I don't know, I might do some longboarding on mellow waves like 3 weeks in, once the Nanocraft trip is over. So Nanocraft starts the 22nd. I'm gonna be doing a lot of filming on that trip. Niso's actually coming. Dawson's actually coming. And I think my brother might link up while we're in Tahoe for a couple of the builds up there, but it's gonna be mental. We got Kyle Mack coming. We've got Scotty Lego. We've got Tim Humphreys and a couple other big dogs. So it's gonna be a sick trip. I'm so hyped on that. The thing about, people are always asking if you're bummed out that you can't snowboard on this trip or this and that. It's like, I have been to so many places. I have done so many things. I've snowboarded in so many amazing locations on earth during my birthday multiple years in a row, which is in October. Like, I'm so fortunate, and I've made a lot of it happen, and I know that my life's not over. So no, I'm not bummed out at all, because being bummed out is a choice, and if you choose to be bummed out, then that just is a sucky feeling. So I'm not bummed out at it at all. I'm using it as a time to where I can grow myself, which is why I'm pretty stoked to take a step back from the vlog and not have to edit for 4 or 5 hours. I'm just gonna drop this thing raw when it's done, not even edit it, maybe throw in like a title or an intro or something. But other than that, there are so many areas in my life that I want to grow that I can't, because 10,000 hours and becoming a professional at something requires you to put all of your time into it. So me and my brother Dana have always said that we're you know, some people are good at everything they do. Me and my brother Dana have basically always been some of those kids who are good at everything they do, but there's a difference between being good at everything you do and then being insanely great at one thing. So if you're good at everything you do, all you're gonna wanna do is be great at one thing, and vice versa. If someone's great at something, they wanna be good at everything. So if you guys have snowboarded for a season, you'll understand that when April comes around, you kind of just want to break the dirt bikes out, or you kind of want to go out on the boat or go to New Hampshire with your family. And now that this injury happened, I get to take a step back from snowboarding and doing the vlog every day, which has been on repeat, so repetitive that it's not even hard for me to do anymore, because I've done it so long. And everybody thinks it's really hard, which it is, but I've built the stamina to do it every day, so it's kind of routine now. It's just like habitual. I'm not even using my conscious brain to make the edits. I'm just cranking them out. And now, if you saw yesterday's video, I had a discussion about meditation and how I move so fast that it's hard for me to meditate, because you have to take a step back from life and from everything and from grinding and from hard work and just let the universe do its thing and exist where you are and just be completely content with not working. And that's always been an issue with me, and my meditation game is not on point. I've been through time periods in my life before the vlog when I was working on myself where my meditation game was through the roof, because I'd wake up and I didn't have to check if a video was uploaded, to respond to comments, to have all this stuff. So now that my life has gone that way, this is a great time period for me to take a step back, to break off from it, not overdo the content in a filming all day, every day type of way, make more of a skit type series where this happens, you know, welcome to this video, this is what we're doing, do that, and then be done with it. And now I get to actually have more free time for myself, to juice vegetables, to go on walks in the morning, put some lemon in a cup with water, chug 20 ounces, and just walk for 25 minutes without music, without anybody, just listening to either cars or birds or whatever's going on, people playing basketball, and just experience life from a different perspective than the absolute, not even 9 to 5. What have I been doing? I've been doing 7 a.m. to 2 a.m. Literally, I've been sleeping like 5 hours, 5 to 6 hours every night for the past 18 months, just completely trying to build something that I've had my vision set on for a long time. And now, to answer that entire thing, no, I'm not bummed out. I'm stoked. I get to film with a long lens. I get to meditate more. I get to go on a trip and take a different perspective and edit other people's riding. And my camera shuts off at 30 minutes right there, so that's why that just skipped. So kind of want to shut this thing down. Kind of don't want to overdo my first ever podcast, and kind of want to go drop this thing online and get this up so I can get some feedback to let you guys know what my new plans are and to hear what you guys think about them. Every Sunday, would that be legit? Podcast? How long? Was this too short? Was I just rambling on too much? Should I get guests on? Who is the most likely person or the most requested person that you want me to throw on as a guest? It'd be sick to get some pro snowboarders on and just discuss with them. Maybe I'll let you guys know early what we're gonna do or who I'm gonna have on, and then you guys can throw out some questions, and then I'll build a little, like I was saying before, a little whiteboard to where we can keep ourselves on track with what we're gonna do. But yeah, thanks for tuning in to the first ever CVlogs, C-Dub in the van podcast. Maybe throw a name out if you think of something catchy. And yeah, I'm gonna go enjoy my day here. We are thinking tutorial in the next day or two. Maybe tomorrow. Maybe I'll just do the tutorial tomorrow. The first trick that gets requested 20 times in the comments, I will do the tutorial for tomorrow. So leave some comments on what you want for a trick tip request done, and I'll try to make that happen as soon as I can. No promises on 24, but promise on 48. Love you guys. Thanks for tuning in. Thanks for supporting the dream. Thanks to all the sponsors, and big love, you guys. You already know. Hope you're out there crushing your dreams. Hope you're having a good day. Hope you actually just woke up, got some motivation out of this, and now you're about to make your day even better than it already was gonna be. One love, Nagel, for the dream, for the neck. Let's go!